YouTube. Today I'm going to have my new experiment, and this experiment is I have here an old 20-inch monitor or 22-inch monitor, and it doesn't work anymore. So I think either way a condenser or capacitor is broken, or maybe the backlight is either way bridged or also broken. So here the symptoms: I push the on button and I get a hissing sound, and I see for very short brief moment I can see, no, I don't see anything. Time. No picture at all. Oh, here, I saw something. Okay, so if I keep doing this for maybe a minute or so, monitor will come back to life and then it will work, but I'm tired of it. So my idea is I'm gonna take this monitor apart, see if I can either fix a broken capacitor or if the backlight is broken, and if the backlight is broken I will turn this one into a touch screen, and that's my big idea. Okay, so I'm going to take this monitor apart. So guys, here is my favorite tool, and this one here is a electric screwdriver. So let's see if I can get this out. I see one screw is here. No, maybe I should try to get the foot off first. So let's see how this is done. I'm not here. Okay, that seems to be okay, guys. So one more time. First, take the foot off, of course. So here you have this little nipple. You need to push this together and then carefully put it off. So the next thing will be here, this one here. You can just kind of plug it off this way. And so the next thing, the way I see it, is here 1, 2, 3, 4 screws that need to be opened, and then you can actually take the whole foot off. So I will do this now first, and let's hope my nice, yeah, that is beautiful. 2, 3 and 4. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4 screws. Here they are, and my foot is off. Wow, perfect. So now I will find a box. I forgot to get me a nice box for my screws. So let me do this. After that I'll be back. Okay. Okay guys, I found a nice box. So I will put my screws in this box. Even has a lid, so nothing will get lost. Alright, so I see 1, 2, 3 screws, and let me open them up. I hope this works. Oops, yeah. 1, 2, and 3. It came off very nicely, and after removing, yeah, it doesn't come off. So after removing these 3 screws, I should be able to take the cover off. If I do something wrong, then please leave me a message on my channel. Okay guys, so now I figured out here on the edges of the lid there are some kind of nuts. You need to push them in very carefully with a screwdriver, and then you can move off the cover. It takes a little force, so be careful not to scratch your lid. Okay, so I will do this now. Alright guys, I got the lid off. Just like I said, you had to push this one and this one inwards, and then you could actually move this off. Not easily, but it came off. I made some marks right here and right here. So if you want to reuse the frame, then be more careful. So it came off, and here are the buttons for the controllers for on and off. And these are just buttons. I need to find out a way how to reuse them if I want to make my touchscreen monitor with an artificial backlight, with an extra self-made backlight. So here are 4 more screws to open. 1, 2, 3, 4 screws over here, and here are some connectors that probably go to the backlight. And this board is very important because this one is connected, as far as I know, to the monitor itself, to the screen. There are also 1, 2, 3 screws that have to be opened, so you have to be very careful with these ones not to destroy anything, especially not to destroy any of the connectors here. And I guess I will also have to open these ones over here. I'm not so sure. No, I don't have to. So, and then eventually I have to open these 2 screws, this and that one, to take everything off. So let me go ahead and do it. 1. If you see me doing something wrong, this might be very possible because I have never done anything like this before. I just asked the guy how much he would give me for the monitor, as broken as it is, and he said something like $5. So I thought, for $5 I can have fun, and that's what I'm doing now. So now let's see. Oh, I see here 2 connectors in the back. I see 1, 2 connectors over here in the front. And I guess these 2 screws I have to open as well. So I have to open these 2 screws. I might have to open these 2 screws here. And yes, okay. So let me get the tools and do that. And I'll take this one out now. Okay. And I'm pretty sure I have to open this here, but I don't have the tool right now. Okay, see you later. Okay, I got it off. But before getting it off, I had to do the following: remove this connector, pull this connector out. Okay, so white is from here to the left, and black is to the right. And I had to take this one out. Blue is in the back, and pink is in the front. Okay, so, and I think the capacitor is broken. Maybe this one. It looks like it's a leaking capacitor, and this one over there. So actually I'm not so sure if this should look the way it looks, but something looks very strange here. These white liquids there, they're supposed to be there. I don't know what that is, so please someone explain to me, what is this white stuff here? Is this some kind of glue? Or are those leaking capacitors? So I'm not an expert, but now maybe we can check now where the hissing sound comes from. So I will reconnect this board. So I stick this one back in here, and this one I will wear some glasses so I'm not going to get hurt. Alright, so it's reconnected, and I will hook it up back to the computer and see what happens. Alright. So it's back hooked up. So the next thing I have to do, I have to push this button here and see where the sound comes from. Now where did that sound come from? One more time. It seems to come from somewhere around here, but I'm not so sure. One more time. I think it's the capacitors, but I'm not so sure. I'm not an electrician, not really. But I think these ones here, they look really broken. So I don't know if I should do the effort and change it, or I'm not so sure. Here. So is there another way I could check? Maybe I could disconnect the backlight and then see how it goes. I'm not so sure which one is that the cable for the backlight, or is this one here the cable for the backlight? Which one should I disconnect? I think it might be this one, right? For the backlight, the cable. I will disconnect these two cables and then see how that goes. So okay, now I disconnected these two here, and when I push the button now, I don't get the hissing sound and I don't see any black light flashing. So my optimistic guess is that these two are supplying the power for the backlight, and that the hissing sound has something to do with that. So because I don't want to use that backlight anyway for my monitor setup, my hope is that when I remove now this back panel here and mount this back panel somewhere else, that I can do some kind of box and put some normal light from behind to illuminate the monitor, and then I will use the V remote from behind and control my monitor like a touch panel, but with an infrared pen. And I already have done this before with a big overhead projector from behind with a glass, and it's awesome. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay guys, here I am again, and so the next thing, I will remove this board, and also I have to remove these screws, and I hope that I carefully can take the cover off and get everything back together the way it belongs. So yeah, I'm a really bloody beginner in this one. Okay, never mind, let's do it. Oh, in case it's hopeless, I got me a hammer, so I hope I won't need it. That's the first screw. Oops, that's difficult to reach. That tool looks brutal, but I'm really more stable using this one than the screwdriver actually. So. Oh, I'm nervous. My God. Okay. Oh yeah, always take the power off before doing something like this. And because capacitors keep electricity for some time, wait a few seconds before you start touching anything. Okay, so I think I removed all the screws that are holding this stuff together here. So now I'm thinking, should I disconnect these or should I keep them connected? Also, right now I will remove these 1, 2, 3 screws, and this one is the most important part. That is actually what makes the panel work. And it's very fragile, so it looks fragile, and I think it is fragile. One more screw. Done. So now I should be able to flip this one over. Yes, okay, I can. And then the next one is I should be able to lift this one off, and as you can see, it's connected to the next board over here, and this one here is connected to this board over there. But I think this one I can probably just pull it. No, I don't want to pull anything out if I don't know how to stick it back together. That's the problem. So should I, shouldn't I, should I? It comes out. Alright, why not? So, and then this one here is probably glued with some nasty glue. Now there's the question, can I take this off or not? Now let me deal with this one later. I will just assume that, yeah, carefully. Oh, I hate when they glue things. So, yeah, it came off. Alright, perfect. So this one is here the control panel for on and off and contrast, color, etc. So now, last thing, here this cable is also connected and glued. Alright, so let me remove this glue thing here and then we can take off the parts. Okay? Okay, now removing the flat panel from this frame seems to be a little bit more difficult than I thought. Here are these kind of nuts, they hold on to the main panel. So what you have to do is you have to move them backwards like this, maybe with a small screwdriver, and then when you have like the first 3 open up, you can move it a little bit up, away from the frame. And now I'm going all the way around, open all these nuts here, and I hope I don't damage anything because this looks a little bit like a tricky thing to do. So actually I don't want to videotape this, I don't want to be seen destroying something because I'm too inept. So I will turn off the video and do that. Yeah, never mind. Okay, so here are these little nipples and I need to move them backwards. And then I actually, here I can move this main panel upwards. Kind of. Yeah. Oh, and here is the... Don't want to destroy this one here, so okay. Alright, so here are now my fragile electronics. I don't want to disconnect everything because then I don't know how to put it back together, but maybe I can just carefully move these parts away and Yeah, I can. Alright, there we go. So I can move this one out of the way for now. And maybe that's easier to work then. So I need to move these ones up. Ah, it broke off. Yeah, okay, that's not... Yeah, never mind. Nothing to hold on to. Okay. And I don't have the right tools either, so... Good. Come on. Alright. So why doesn't it want to come off the way? So I'm a little bit kind of I don't understand it. Okay. So far, so good. I will see if I can get it off. Okay guys, actually I was able to move it off. So I just pull it from here and then it comes off. So, but yeah, that's it. So here I have now this piece here. I'm holding just the monitor without this frame here. On the frame is still here the control panel. It's a tiny unit. I show you on this one here for the on and off buttons. So this one is on and off, contrast, etc, etc. So the next thing, open these few screws over here and it's a big screw. There we go. Alright, so here's my... Okay, next step. We have here an outer iron frame and this one is the inner frame, and then you need to kind of, with a small screwdriver, go around it and bend this one away, and then you can start here in the corner and try to lift it off. And once you manage to lift it off, then you actually should be able to pull it towards your direction, and you need to watch out because there I can see the... Alright, there it goes. So here I'm a little bit over, so I don't know really how this is gonna work now. So this one is connected to here. I need to take this one off and this one off and flip this over to here. And before I do this, I will disconnect this one here. These two. And 1, 2. I need to remember which one is left, which one is right. So okay, this one was on that side. Okay, I'll call it the from your direction left side. Okay, so carefully put this board over here because it looks like something is hanging on to this stuff here. So let's see. Okay, so that I can handle this because it looks very, very delicate. So the next thing I want to do is reconnect the controller and then see if I can get it to work. just the way it is right now. And if I do, then I'll be in the business of making my touch screen. Okay? Okay, so it's done so far. Here's the monitor. And I will push now this button here and see what happens. Okay, I hear the sound. Now let's see. And if I use a flashlight, let's see if I can use a flashlight. Let's see if I have any picture here. That looks kind of not very promising. Can I see anything here? Anything? Oh, yes. Alright. There we go. I see here one of those icons from the windows that I have hooked up. So the monitor is working just like that. And since I don't need the backlight, I can operate now, can start doing my touch screen. Alright. So let me turn this off here with my primitive screwdriver here. Good. This one. Okay, so here I got me a glass, 50 to 50 centimeters. You can see the glass here, 50 to 50 centimeters, and I carefully removed the main screen of the old frame and put it on the glass already. So this one is here 50 to 50 centimeters. And here I went to the carpenter and I got me 2 pieces of wood, and they were 54 to 54 centimeters. And I asked the carpenter to cut me out one time the exact frame of the monitor, and the second one I cut this out myself, a little bit bigger than the monitor, so will fit right onto this one here. For the electronics, I got a little bit gap over here, so this thing is gonna go upside down onto this monitor, and what you see here, this is gonna be what is actually displayed to the wiimote from behind. And this is the part that's gonna have the glass cover, and the monitor is gonna stick this way. Here I made this little space here, and I also cut this wood a little bit, kind of took the corner out to make sure I'm not going to damage the electronics, right? These electronics here, they will have to go through here. The monitor, now this one, is going to be flipped upside down and then goes through there. And then on top goes the glass, and these pieces here are supposed to hold on to the glass, like kind of in this kind of fashion. Okay, so now I'm a little bit kind of thinking which way I will do. Put the monitor, flip over to here, or flip this one over to there, and then try to work it from that way. I don't know. So I will think about it and I'll show you how it worked. Okay, so far I decided to put the screen upside down, and so what I'm looking at now is the part that will be covered with the glass. I got me this kind of stuff here, which is a very thin kind of insulation plastic for electronics, which I will cover nicely the edges with. And secondly, I got me this kind of door insulator, this one here, which I put here into this kind of notch, so that the monitor will not be damaged when the glass is gonna is pushing down. I had a little bit kind of trouble yesterday while flipping the monitor over. These two modules separated, and when I put them back together, nothing worked. So I was just about to take the hammer when I discovered that I actually didn't reconnect this all the way. So after reconnecting it properly, everything works fine right now. So, but I have to hurry up. My house is a mess, as you can see. So I want to get through with it and reuse my kitchen. Okay, so here's the finished product of my interactive touchscreen with a wiimote and my broken 22-inch monitor. So what I did here is 3 layers. I hope you can see it. The first 2 were for holding the monitor. The second one is for making up the distance of the glass, the brightness of the glass, but it's not bright enough. And then I took one of these foamy door insulators. So I put there 1/2 inch of this in between, and then finally put the top frame on it to hold on to the glass and the back frame there. And when I screw this, then the foam will kind of buffer it, so you do not damage the screen. And so then there was another thing. I have to look at the monitor upside down. Now why? The light is down here, just a 2x12 watt LED light, and I mounted it into this kind of hole there. And this box here has 2 frames. One frame is up here, that's this wooden frame where there's the monitor mounted onto, and down there I made exactly the same frame, exactly same size, same build, and then I put this kind of wood inside to make a nice box. So the wiimote is coming from behind. It's mounted here in this box, and that's the very tricky part. So I got me an iPod or iPhone holder which has this adjustable screw, and what I did is I mounted it onto a piece of wood, stuck it in there, and then very carefully tried to figure out the exact distance, the exact position for that wiimote, and then I fixed it with the screw. So it has to be very precise, just about 56 centimeters of distance, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less, and then you have to really find the exact position for the wiimote. Otherwise either corner doesn't work. So, and then there's this problem with the polarization of the light, I think. So if the monitor is upside down, which is now is upside down, so luckily my video card allowed me to flip my screen 180 degrees. So if you come from this side here, you can see it kind of fades out. It's not bright enough. So I'm not so sure if this is caused by light polarization, so that the LED light maybe has to come from this side in order to produce the correct image, or if it's just that the monitor upside down looks better from this angle, maybe. Okay. I also recycled all the pieces for mounting the electronics. So I thought maybe it looks a little ugly. If you're a little bit more skilled than I am, then you actually could make something that is just as big as the electronics and then put it on top. But I wanted to play it safe, so I got the plastic cover back on there the iron covers, the iron mounts, to make sure nobody gets electrocuted. So, and also I could recycle those buttons and they all work, so I'm kind of glad. So now here, so let me use the touch screen and turn this on. So this is a video I shot, and this would be about the angle when you're sitting. So that's from this angle, you can see the video. Let me turn it on one more time, so you actually can also see the touch. So from this angle it looks alright, and from this angle it's a little dark. So maybe it doesn't matter when you turn off the light, it will be okay, but for daily use this is not very optimal. So then the other thing you could do, or I can do, or already did, is just flipping it clockwise or counterclockwise and then using it like a book page this way. Very nice. So if you want to kind of read a book or something, then you just flip it counterclockwise and you can sit like this and read. So you have the whole page in front of you. So now let me give you some. Okay, another sample. So just touch here. It was actually quite decent. And so this is for pictures. And here I just changed the mouse settings a little bit for the double click to work better. And so let me give you a quick sample for maybe handwriting. So write a letter to my friends, exclamation point. Okay, so got their letter to my friends. It doesn't get the exclamation point. No, never mind. We can fix this over here. Oh no. Good, done. So let me draw something. Maybe brown is good. You can make a tree. So it works pretty precise, so I like it very much. Where is my bucket here? I want to put some ink in there. Good. And alright, now I'm in GIMP editor, and just let me choose the color, maybe black, and as you can see it's very precise in its workings. So here is the wiimote and the control center for the Python whiteboard software, and here's the calibration. Here is deactivate, and here is show settings. So now here's one thing, the outside area, outside the monitor, there are 4 areas, and which kind of produce either way only move, right click, middle click, or left click. Now I'm thinking I could put some infrared lights inside the box, outside the screen area, and then have 4 buttons here, and which activate either infrared light. So, and then I could have these 4 functions available. So here's calibration. Now let me do this here one time. I calibrate this here. Okay, so it's very simple, just hold on to it. And there we are out. There we are a little bit off, I could tell. So this corner is not really properly here. So as you can see, here is the how we utilize the wiimote. So I have a little bit more space down here, but because everything is upside down and the wiimote is upside down, I kind of don't always know in which way I have to move it, and because it's working right now, so I'm doing my video here because I have other things to do, and I'm happy my house is clean again, halfway clean at least. Okay, so here we have now nice pages lying right here. Let's get this all in full screen, get really the full, so I can now beautifully read those book pages. And now for writing, let's see here, now let's write something. So I can write a nice letter. Here you can see the wiimote mounted on this iPod holder, or iPhone holder, sorry. And this iPhone holder I mounted on this piece of wood. I just made a big hole in the center of the wood, and then I split it in half, put the end of the wiimote stick into it, and screwed it together. So there we go. Nice pencil and change. So last not least, I found a 3-volt power supply from an old Kodak camera charger, and I use this one to supply the power for my wiimote, because every time the battery gets empty it becomes unresponsive a little bit. So now I have 95% of power at all times. Here I have Ubuntu with VirtualBox. Inside the VirtualBox I'm running Windows XP, professional version I bought some time ago. And right now you can see wiimote battery level is at 94. With my settings I have, with my power supply, and I can go with the virtual PC into full screen, switch, so now it's in full screen, and here I have of course all the handwriting recognition software and everything available. Let's go this here to make it big, and good. Alright, and for example I also can use different languages. In this case I want to write Chinese, but I'm not very good at writing Chinese. I can write okay. Just for practicing my Chinese. And this one is wrong. Let's see if it gives me an option. Yeah, so it works. And let's close this up here. Of course, here are nice big buttons to push. Not necessary, as I found out, but I thought it was a great idea to do. Okay, so if you want to be full screen, you just can go here and exit the full screen from here. Okay, and of course you can shut down Windows. Alright, that concludes my video about touch screen. Okay.